What's happening, Reject Nation? Greg and John here today. I hear you guys, some of you are like, you might want to cool it on some of those Spider-Man No Way Home videos. We hear you loud and clear. So today we're going to watch the first trailer for the sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's called Part 1?
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1.
So what does that mean? Is this going to be a two-parter movie?
It's a two-parter movie.
What?
They're going big. They're like, how do we top Spider-Man No Way Home with our sequel to the best arguable Spider-Man movie? We do it double big.
The argument often tends to be, is it the live-action Spider-Man 2 or Into the Spider-Verse? Which one's the better one? You guys tell us down below. Before we get into that, this video is sponsored by Hanukkah. Don't forget about the Jews this Christmas season.
Jesus wouldn't want you to.
Good to be back.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh shit.
You got a minute?
Oh! Whoa, Gwen, how did she? How did you get? How have you been?
It's a long story. Is this the room you grew up in?
It is, but my dorm room is very adult.
Right. No, of course. Hey, are these your drawings?
What? No,
Oh,
no.
they're good.
Uh-huh.
I missed you too.
Okay, so what are you doing here? I mean, I thought I'd never see you again.
Want to get out of here?
I'm grounded.
Okay.
Bummer.
Yeah, let's do that. You're Spider-Man.
Is Spider-Man grounded?
I mean, I
Hell yeah.
Love the
Come on, man.
Go for it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Circuits of time, duder. And the multiverse.
Yes. I'm so happy.
Oh my god, I love the art.
Yo! That's Miguel Hara. Yeah.
That post-credit scene must actually be figuring in.
Ooh, baby.
Show me more.
Like the artwork, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. October 7th. What a time to be a Spider-Man fan.
Absolutely.
What a time to be a Spider-Man fan.
Well, and this one too is just so, you know, because it doesn't have the same like constant hype train as No Way Home, like this does sort of pierce through as something extra special, especially during the holidays.
I remember when the first one was coming out, Spider-Man fans were excited for it. It didn't have as broad of an appeal as a usual live-action Spider-Man movie would. But then when it was released, the word of mouth on that first one was
instantaneous.
through the roof, and it just started collecting money and winning awards.
Yeah.
And I feel like this one will have exceptionally more hype versus the initial debut of the Spider-Verse when it came out years ago, right? Looking at this though, I love right where it's picking up. It has that flavor of like the animation that was so dazzling before, and that's all present here. The tease of like Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099. I hope it's Oscar Isaac back in the role. How cool would that be if you had, because I think it was him at the post-credit scene, right? Who's gonna be Moon Knight now?
Dude, he's everywhere in the Marvel world.
And hopefully Miles actually is able to snag Gwen as his girlfriend this time around. But he looks older.
Yes, he does. Yeah, you know, his hair has grown a little bit, you know, and I always love when animation can do that when it actually feels like, oh yeah, a little time has passed. It's not like obvious, you know, like a beard or something. But yeah, he does look a little bit older, a little more mature in the animation style. And two, just watching as they go even further down the rabbit hole of making the animation feel alive and like it's, you know, blasting through various different approaches to the medium and doing all this stuff that looks like old pop art and old, like, comic strips out of newspapers. Like, all that's been in here, but basically augmented to a whole new level, at least it looks like here. Like, when he's swinging through the multiverse, that looked like a transportive experience.
Yeah, I think it's cool how the first movie was all about Spider-Man coming into his world, his Earth, and now it's appropriate. It's called Part 1 because there's so many different universes he can explore.
Oh, yeah.
So to be going across this and to see, like, I'm looking forward to seeing how not only the other Spider-Man that we're going to encounter or whatever Spider-Man are brought back from the first one, but to see how they visually realize the other worlds. I hope they really double down on the aesthetics there and really bring some different planets to life.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or different cities to life, see different versions of New York and whatnot, while I guess dealing with his father grounding him at home instead of his father and mom. Yeah.
Jefferson's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, because if he's going across universes, you know, maybe it can be multiple versions of himself, other Mileses this time around.
Absolutely.
Because he mainly met Peter Parkers before.
His possibilities are endless, and yeah, like it seems like now that the first movie was so successful, I have to imagine they feel emboldened to do just about anything in terms of what wild Spider-Man related dreams you could entertain.
Well, I mean, looking back at it, they got different directors this time around.
Yeah.
This one's written by Phil Lord, Chris Miller, and Dave Callahan. Everyone always looks at this as the Phil Lord and Chris Miller movie, but not even the first one was.
Hey, Callahan was on the Shang-Chi script.
Their fingerprints were all over it. Yeah, the directors of the first three, those aren't the same directors at all for this one.
Nope. Which is interesting to me because, I mean... You know,
Jessica Drew's going to be in this.
Yeah.
Okay, Jessica, all right, cool.
Which is the one thing we didn't really get a tease of in this trailer, which is, it's funny because the IMDb for this is so spare right now. Yeah, that seems like a pretty big one to at least draw anticipation for.
I'm hearing rumors about who the villain might potentially be. I heard rumblings that it could possibly be Mr. Negative this time around, where if you guys played the Spider-Man PS4 game, that was, I think, his most recent debut in some type of animated medium. It might be that one. That's where I'm most familiar with the character. So that would be cool to realize, and when you're dealing with multiverse stuff and that type of power set that he has, it would feel appropriate. But either way, I was excited that this franchise gets to live on. What a year to be Spider-Man fans. Not only are we getting Morbius, but now we're getting Spider-Man and Spider-Verse next year, baby.
Now a constant coverage cycle. Every trailer, teaser, TV spot, poster.
We're not gonna run out of content.
Never break from Spider-Man.
Guys, subscribe to The Real Rejects. Hit that like button. Check out all our other Spider-Man videos. And let's do a pick. Eric Horstman. I was going through my Instagram and I was going through like all the old photos. You know, when you go down memory lane and you're like, oh my God, I hated myself back then. And then I came across your tattoo that you got of the Real Rejects logo, which is no longer the logo that we use, but you got a tattoo of the Real Rejects logo on your arm. And we haven't talked in a long time. And then it started making me wonder just how funny it is, how much you must regret that. Like, my goodness. We've been so busy and we haven't discussed anything proper in a while. And here you are rocking this tattoo that you got in honor of us. It's like we're completely absent in your life.
I know. I just saw an Instagram post about a company that covers up tattoos with other things once you go through a breakup, and I'm like, Eric, you're gonna have to get like a whole arm sleeve to cover that thing up.
Screwed.
Yeah, dude. We better keep your interest alive, because in 4 or 5 years you're gonna be like, damn, I just better peel all the skin off this arm.
In all sincerity, it did really make me go, we gotta travel to Atlanta one day just to meet you. Trust me, if you're ever in your dying bed, I'm going. That's all it takes.
I want to hear your last words.
I'll be like, I gotta go now. All guilt, gotta go. I love you, buddy. Merry Christmas.